by far the toughest thing I've ever had to do. But I owe it to the members of Agape Church to be honest. But first, I have a question. What are some things you never thought you'd do?
I would never do fine
I
arts.
would never go skydiving.
I would never watch a horror movie.
No, not like that. I never thought I'd be willing to lose the respect of man and risk everything I thought I needed.
Y'all hear about Jacob?
PK Jacob?
Yeah, pastor's kid.
Wait, what happened?
Well, I heard that the administration found pornography on a school iPad, so he was suspended this morning.
Suspended?
As they should.
No grace?
Are you sure he wouldn't do that?
Well, search histories don't lie.
Well, I mean, is that fair? A lot of guys struggle with porn.
Luke, it's about time our school started taking purity seriously. Why can't men just have self-control?
Honestly.
Never. Yeah, I would never watch pornography. I'm sure Jacob said the same thing too. But now that I know the consequences, how could I possibly confess that I'm guilty of the same thing? I guess I could never admit. So from that day on, I carried around this weight thinking just maybe I could beat this on my own. But in college, dating only made things more difficult.
Professor Reynolds, so many pastors are failing sexually. If this can happen to the best, can this happen to us too?
Well, James 3 tells us that teachers will be judged with greater strictness. So we as pastors must do everything in our power to model integrity in our relationships.
But how do we do that?
Accountability. How can you teach your congregation about accountability without having any for yourself?
And so, if a pastor is having sex outside of marriage,
Well, then they better not be pastoring.
I guess that's true. I've only messed up a couple of times with a couple of people, but when I get married later this year, that won't be a problem. There's no reason to admit it. Nobody has to know. So I thought the best way to avoid sex outside of marriage was marriage, right? Easy fix. I got married.
I'm so nervous. I can't believe this is all happening. Honey, I knew this day was coming, but I never thought 40 years would go by so fast.
We can trust Agape's going to be taken care of. I can't think of any other couple I would entrust this congregation with.
No, Abby, this is exactly what we've been praying for years now. And I believe that this door is finally open.
But what if we're not ready for this? I mean, being lead pastors is a lot of pressure, especially on a marriage.
We've been killing the marriage game for like 10 years now. If there's anything we have to worry about, it's how soon we can rip up the ugly green carpet in the sanctuary. Not our marriage. We've got this.
Welcome in. So as y'all know, we've been looking to retire. It probably should have been years ago.
But we never felt confident that we had someone that would carry on the good work we started here.
So we called this meeting here today because we wanted to install you both as our new senior pastors.
We understand that you're happy with this decision, so if you want to take a couple of days to pray on it, that's fine.
We've actually been praying about this for years now. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we're both ready for this position.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm just nervous. I know you're going to pastor us through this transition, but do you have any advice or words of wisdom you could give?
The biggest thing is protect your marriage at all costs. It doesn't matter if you've been married for 10 years.
Or if you think you're killing the marriage game.
Marital issues can spring up out of nowhere. So it's essential that you not only stay accountable to each other, but to a mentorship figure as well.
And we can be that for you.
That's great. But when I mess up, I mean, I'm not gonna mess up, but if I messed up, I couldn't tell any of you. I'd lose everything I worked for. My only choice is to be perfect. Things were perfect for a few years until they weren't. It's really easy to be honest with your accountability until you do something that requires accountability.
Hey, can I talk to you about something?
Sure, babe, just finish mowing the lawn. What's up?
Just got off the phone, had an interesting conversation with some woman. Didn't know her.
Well, who? What was it about?
She said her name was Allison. She wanted to talk to you and was shocked that your wife answered the phone. Can you tell me why that would be shocking?
She called you. No, Abby. That was a one-time thing. You know, I've been wanting to tell you, honestly, and I'm committed to you and to our kids. Can we just talk this through together? I mean, nobody else has to know.
You're worried about self-preservation? Are you kidding me? Is this the kind of example that you want to set for your church? Your staff, your kids?
No, I know, but think of everything that we would lose.
Look, some people are going to stand by you and walk you through this, but this is going to be hard on a lot of people. Look, I still love you, but if you can't own and confess to this, then your job and reputation won't be the only thing you lose.
If I could go back and change anything, I wish I could have told high school Luke that it would have been a lot easier to have faced the consequences before they were this painful. And so I'm stepping down as lead pastor.
Wow, I can't believe this. I thought pastors were supposed to live above reproach. How can I ever trust another pastor again?
I understand that this is incredibly hard, but I just pray that you can find it in your heart to forgive Luke. If you give in to the lie that Luke's life is defined by his moral failure more than Jesus' sacrifice, then you also have something to work on.
Pastor Luke, I looked up to you as a mentor, and it breaks my heart to hear this, but I know God's not done using you.
I never thought I'd be willing to lose the respect of man, and risk everything I thought I needed, but here I am.